Eric, obviously a tough week in LA. You guys were on the road for that whole time. I know some of your assistants and staff had people here being evacuated. Just what was that whole situation like being away?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, things are way bigger than basketball. And we talked about it while we were on the road. Obviously, Coach Conroy, Coach Quincy, Caleb Klein, their loved ones were, evacuated. And it's tough. Clark was worried about his family. And, all you can do as a group and as a unit and a program and organization, whatever, is, talk about it. And, we were super anxious to get back home. We want to do anything that we can. I know Coach Conroy and I have been talking about some things of, that we can possibly do this week. So it's just, for us, it's, hopefully we're like a little bit of an avenue for people to get away from it tonight and enjoy 2 hours of basketball. And I think our guys have handled it really well. Because they have talked about it. Will was keeping us updated. He had, local news stations downloaded on his phone and was giving us daily, minute, hourly updates. Our, thoughts when we were away were with everybody back here. And then I thought when we had our preparation time, our guys did a really good job of focusing on that as well.
Coach, congratulations. Which was the bigger impact on the game, the great shooting or the huge rebound margin?
That's a great question. I don't really know, Rich. I think both. We knew that, if the rebounding battle tonight was close, that, that was not going to play into our hands. I think you have a decision when you play at Illinois. You have a decision when you play Iowa. Are you going to run with them or are you going to, slow the game down? And our personality by nature as a group and a team is to attack. We didn't want to get in a skills competition with them. We didn't want to get in a three-point competition with them, but we did feel like we would get open threes with our feet set, which we did. Getting back half of our misses was really important just based on statistics. Iowa has given up some offensive rebounds, and so that was important for us. But I think the biggest stat was the 27 assists and sharing the basketball. And when you share it like that, you're passing up good shots for great shots. And I thought our shot selection tonight was absolutely phenomenal. During the course of the game, I only really remember one shot that was not a good shot. To play Big Ten games and lead for 39 minutes and 40 seconds and go on the road and lead for the entirety of the it's hard to do. And we've gotten off to really good starts so far other than the Michigan game. So the starters have done a really good job the first 4 minutes of the game as well.
Before that Washington game, when Terrence gets hurt, you put Wesley into the starting lineup. And you've said multiple times just how his quickness, ball handling kind of changed things offensively. But you look at tonight, you look at the past couple of games, how is just him playing and developing the way that he has just changed you guys as a program offensively? Yeah,
I think, I think that Wes's minutes and evolution have changed our season, to be honest with you. We don't know where it goes from here. But right now, look, he's changed things because he can make threes. He stretches the floor for us. He gives us another ball handler. He's super strong. He's really aggressive. And so his mentality, his toughness, his physicality, and then I think as obviously year one in our program, it's really important that a young player kind of emerges, and he's really good right now, and you can only imagine what he can do next year after he gets a full year and all this playing experience. He's going to be he already is a really good player, but his confidence, you can kind of see it growing, too, by the game.
Coach, I saw that video that USC basketball Twitter put out before the game, and you nailed your three keys. You shot better than them from three, slowed them down on the fast break points, and grabbed more offensive rebounds. With those three keys in mind, how nice was it to do so well in those three areas?
Yeah, Connor, I think the one thing with this team, even the games we've lost, when we've come up with themes, and we've come up with keys, even when we lose, they come pretty close. We didn't, I would say the one execution that we haven't, we didn't do a very good job on Danny Wolf. As I look back, and that's one guy in a game, and we didn't, we got a little bit off script. But for the most part, I mean, this team practices so hard. They follow the game plan. The huddles are, like, our huddles are so good, even when we're not playing well. Like, they listen, they talk to each other, they communicate. Again, I mean, we're happy we won 2 games in a row. This league is so hard. Every game's hard. But we're back to 500 in league. And I think the overall character of the locker room is, I don't know if you could have better chemistry internally.
Hi, Coach. One of those keys, eliminating their 3, they only made 4 in the first half. What from the first half of your guys would you like to implement continuing in the season? Yeah,
I think like the second half, I think maybe we started switching a lot more. The defense was away from us. The first half, when the defense is in front of us, I think we can communicate with them. Maybe fatigue in that second half. We gave up some threes probably. A couple guys might have been exhausted when they're playing 40 minutes. But the key to the game, especially early in the game, we just talked about, hey, we cannot let them get hot the first 20 minutes of the game, or it's going to be a long night. And we knew they had a run in them. I mean, they made they were down big against Nebraska, and they came back, and they made their run, and then we were able to counter it. But certainly taking away the 3, just limiting their attempts was a big part of. And as the game progressed, they started getting more attempts and made more. But they're a great they're not good. They're a great offensive team. And I thought we did, I know they shot and made 11, but the key was they didn't get 30 or 35 threes up was a big key.
St. was 9 of 10 tonight, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, didn't miss a shot in the second half. What was working so well for him tonight, and what have you thought just of his progression as he's kind of fit into this new offense?
He's been great. Like he said, he wants to be a defensive stopper. I think he's really been focusing defensively. He's really been focusing on rebounding. I think he's trying to find, like, where do we have holes, and then how can he plug in? Because he can do so many things. He's like, he's like a baseball player that you could put him at shortstop, second base, center field, left field, right field. Like, he's one of those guys you can just kind of put him all over, which is, that's what we want that's what we want our team to be like. As many of those guys as possible, but he's a triple-double threat. Not that it's hard to get one in college in a 40-minute game, but he and Dez they're right there bordering on being close to triple-double guys on a nightly basis. And I thought our sharing the ball, St. did a great job cutting, and his shot selection tonight was incredible.
Most you mentioned those, baseball players do everything types. You obviously built this roster with a lot of that in mind. Just looks like a different team in terms of executing offensively from the start of the year. Is this more what you had in mind when you were putting this team together, and how have you seen them get there, just in terms of knowing how to play with each other? That sort of vision coming to life. Yeah,
I mean, we didn't know the strengths. Like we recruited them, but. Now we know what play sets to call. We know where guys are super effective on the floor. We've really expanded our playbook a lot. I mean, the guys will tell you that we have a new play every game. There's been years where we run that play and then we scrap it. We've kept all of our new plays. So however many games we've played, that's how much the playbook's expanded. And then the execution of them understanding second and third options. I think early in the year we would run a play and they would get to the first option and then we just kind of froze. And now I think we're getting to third, fourth options, and then we're, our open offense, our flash game, when plays break down, I think now they understand concepts instead of just play patterns. And I think that's been the biggest difference for us offensively, and we're running harder. We weren't. I mean, early in the year, we kept, hey, every team says they want to run. We're we're going through opportunity break and we're going through our quick strike offense, and then I go back and watch the film. I'm like, we're jogging, you know. And so I think that when they were able to see that on film, we're running way harder than we were early in the year.
Coach, any concern did you have coming down the stretch about fatigue? You had, the two centers break up minutes, but other than that, your four guys all either went 40 or close to 40.
Yeah, not really, Rich. I mean, if just pull up a box score from Nevada or Arkansas, and Cody Martin never came out of a game. Caleb Martin never came out of a game. Anthony Black led the SEC in minutes played. Moses Moody never came out of a game. The people that I've been, worked under or worked with, I mean, Tom Thibodeau's arguably one of my best friends. And check out the Knicks box scores. And Tom and myself, like we learned from my dad, and all you got to do is look at their, I think when guys can play through their mistakes and they're not looking over at you, now we have to develop our bench. And I think we have. I think that our guys come in here and they work every day, and otherwise Wes wouldn't be able to be inserted into the lineup like he was in Seattle, and he was ready to play. And so we need other guys to be ready to play. And then I think the other thing too, Rich, is if Matt Nolan and Terrence Williams were playing, they were, that two injured guys changes a lot of stuff. It really does. I mean, Terrence starting every game, playing 20 to 35 minutes, and he's out. And Matt Nolan's been a great utility guy, and we can play him at four positions. And so that changes stuff. But, we want the other guys to keep working, and when called upon, but it's hard to take them out when we shot 65% from the field. So, I mean, if we shot 30%, there would have been probably more subbing, but maybe not.
All right, this will be the last question.
They cut the lead to 5, and Wes misses those 2 free throws. What did you just see from the team? I know you said you were expecting a run, but what did you just kind of see from their resolve?
Yeah, Ryan, I think that at that point, the game is all of a sudden in jeopardy. It really is. Like, they come down, they hit a 3, and now what? But I thought, like, in the huddles, it wasn't me saying it. It was the players. Hey, they made the run. Let's buckle down on defense. Hey, no threes. Defend without fouling. They're in the bonus. Like, those are some of the conversations that were happening in the, in the huddle. And when you can just kind of navigate that and let them talk and say, hey, that's a great point. Hey, that's exactly what we got to do. And then you just try to get them in a spot to break the press a little bit better. They're saying and doing all the right things in the like they're kind of buddy coaching, self-coaching, whatever word you want, which is, that's when you've kind of turned a corner from a chemistry standpoint. Again, hey, we're happy. We've won 2 games. We got a really good Wisconsin team coming in here, and as soon as I walk out of here, that's the only thing I'm going to be worried about is how do we beat Wisconsin, because they're really good. Thanks, everybody.
For both you guys, when you're in the transfer portal and making your decisions, are nights like tonight what you envision? 25 points, 24 points, a big home conference win?
Yeah, I would say so. One of the things that we came over here for is just trusting us and what he does, and he has a great track record of guards that's similar to us as well. So that was the main thing. But yeah, just coming over here and him letting us rock and just being able to hoop and him trusting us. That's one of the things that we was looking for sure.
I think to piggyback off what Des said, Muss was looking at, the way he recruited this team, and I know he's preached it multiple times. I mean, he has bigger guards, so just going out there and out-rebounding our opponent and just playing more physical than them, and that's what we've been doing these last 3 games.
You guys have sat here before and just, talked when things weren't going as well and talked about, we're going to figure this thing out. I mean, after the past couple of wins, what do you feel like you guys have shown about what this team can be, what this program can be this year?
I feel like we've shown that, we're tough, that, we're a good team, that we have a lot of pieces. One of the biggest things is, just staying disciplined on, what we do, our core principles, and, just staying consistent with it and trusting it. At the end of the day, that's one of the things that it came down to. And, once we fully locked in, once we, continue to get more comfortable with each other, it just, you see what happens.
Okay, I think it just, from what I said before, I think it just all starts in practice. Like our intensity level in practice is, we raise the bar, and everybody knows the standard of what SC basketball is now. And I think we built the culture in this locker room, so every day we know what we have to do and what our goal is.
Saying seemed like everything was working for you tonight offensively, especially 9 of 10 from the field, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Muss was talking about just how you've sort of fit into the cracks on this team and kind of figuring out your role. How do you feel like you have progressed kind of in figuring out what that role is as a season goes?
I really still to this day don't know my role. I think it's like I'm like an Army Swiss knife. So every game, like it changes for me. Like last game at Illinois, I had to be the defensive guy and stop all their big guards. And today, just my role was just go out there, and they were looking at Desmond, and whenever they would double team him, just find an opening and score the ball. So I think my role just changes every night, and I'm just ready to play basketball, man. I think it's just basketball. There's nothing different that I think about.
It's January. Looking back so far in the season, what are you each personally most proud of?
I would say for me, most proud, just being probably 500 in the Big Ten now. Now we got back to we're probably tied for probably 5th place now, but just being 500 and trying to get back to positive, and then trying to get this up to a 4-game win streak and beat Wisconsin on Saturday.
I would say, well, that as well, but everybody continued to go hard and play hard, and nobody gave up even when things was going our way early on. I feel like everybody, wanted to figure it out, so, we kept, practicing hard. We kept, sticking to our principles, and I would say that's the thing that I'm most proud of, that everybody, kept playing hard and kept fighting. And, we want to win, and we're willing to do everything it takes to win.
I would say another thing I'm proud of, I'm really proud of our young guys in our bench. I know it gets hard sometimes when coach only plays six to 7 guys, and some of those guys, like Clark and Bryce, average 19 at their last schools, and they get DMPs, and they're probably the most excited guys on the bench, more than the guys that's out there on the floor. So just them picking us up and having great spirit on the bench, and I think that's our biggest thing of why we're winning our games too, just because those guys are bought in so much.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you guys watch the Knicks, but Muss was just talking about how Tom Thibodeau is one of his best coaching friends. He, obviously, both guys who give their guys a lot of run. Just what have you seen from Muss in that way, in terms of, just leaving you guys on the floor for long stretches, and how do you prepare yourself for that kind of fatigue?
I would say I first found out at the Illinois game, asked for a break, and he said, "Nah, the Tom Thibodeau don't do this. Like, you go stay in the game." So, if I want to be an NBA player, I got to suck it up, be out there. So, I think that was the first.
Shoot, he did that to me today. Yeah, I asked for something. He was like, "No." Yeah, he's yeah, man. But he talks about it, and we accepted it. Like, we want to win. We got to do what coach say. So, but yeah, we got a lot of people on our team that fights, and when they come in, they give us good minutes. But yeah, Muss he wasn't having that today. Yeah, wasn't having that. Wait, can you give me that one? I'll finish this one.
Sort of 2 questions. One is, you were struggling to get the ball in bounds a few times under your own basket, and I wanted to ask you kind of what the problem was. And then second, can you talk about the play of Rashawn tonight?
I would say it was just that's lack of us getting open, being physical, and setting our man up and trying to get open. I take full responsibility for that. I know it happened twice for me. And that's really it. Just lack of being focused and following the game plan of just getting open and setting our man up. And then Sean just hasn't been just tonight. It's been the past 2 weeks. Sean just been a great lift for us off the bench. I mean, Josh does a great job when he's first in the game. I mean, he might have the first 6 points every game. And then Sean comes in and just gives us a different look. So, I mean, we joke with him because he's a 6'5" big, but he plays like he's 7'1". But he just plays with that extra intensity that we need. I mean, we also joke with him that he's from Chicago, but Coach said Chicago's – I thought you're from Chicago. You're not supposed to be soft. But he didn't prove to us this next 2 weeks that, like, he's not a soft dude at all. And he just takes on the challenge every day. I mean, I think he's made 3 threes before he came into the season. Now he's probably tripled that now. So, I mean, it just shows his work ethic, and he's in the gym every day.
Coach must talked about it a bit, but the game got really tight at the end. Iowa got within 5. He talked about what happened in the huddle a bit, but like from your perspective, what did you guys do? How'd you rally the team? You know, what happened?
Yeah, well, we knew that we was in the bonus, right, or 1-on-1. So our thing was just middle ball screen, just to get fouled, you know, whatever. We knew they was gonna start fouling at some point, so it was really just not turning the ball over and have ball security, and then just get to the free throw line. And then when we got there, you know, we got to do our part and actually knock down the free throws. And but yeah, that was pretty much it. And then just try to get stops on the other end. We knew they was gonna push and get a lot of different attempts up. So we just had to do our best with that without fouling, and then and then just get to the free throw line offensively.
You guys talked a little bit about just figuring things out over the course of the season. How big of a role has Wesley Yates kind of played in figuring those things out?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he stepped up a lot. You know, he didn't play last year. He was a red shirt, I think. So just seeing him figure it out and him, you know, do his thing that we see him do every day in practice is amazing. You know, when T-Will went down, we was a little worried about who was going to, you know, take that step up. That's what Muss was, you know, preaching in practice, like who's going to step up. And I feel like Wes took the challenge, and, you know, he's doing a really good job, and he's learning. He's continuing to learn, and I feel like, you know, he's getting better each game. You know, it's hard to not play one season and then play a lot the next. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Wes took on a difficult challenge. I mean, I know everybody might say I call him a Jordan Clarkson because he comes in and takes like some wild shots, but he'll make it. But then sometimes like he'll come in and take some unnecessary shots that we don't need. But just that's what he's learning, like just learning through his role and this role in this team, and just trying to figure out what he can do to impact the game. And I think he's guarding the best player every night, the guard, on just pressuring him.
Point guard.
And then he's also, when Dez come out, he has to play the guard. He has a lot of things he has to do on this team, and I think for a freshman to do that is just is not beyond, like, he's exceeding that role for sure.
Yeah, he's embracing it too, for sure. He wants to have that role, so.
And I don't ever see him do that. He came out here and played 40 minutes tonight, and he was the first one in the gym working out for an hour before the game, and that's every game.
Mm-hmm.
Just to piggyback off of that, Muss was saying that his program really changed kind of offensively when put him into the starting lineup. Just as another ball handling, his quickness, his decision making, like playing next to him. How have you guys felt things shift offensively with his just kind of evolution?
Oh, for sure. Having another guard out there, you know, besides us two, that could, you know, create, especially when the shot clock's going down, just gives the other team somebody else to worry about, and sometimes take the pressure off too as well. So him being able to do that was key for us, and we need him to continue to do that.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you.